Hello everyone, it's Omni again, doing a figure review of Jada Toy's Sagat from Street Fighter 2 Ultra Final Challengers. The latest version had like lots of words for Street Fighter 2. And the only reason we have Chun-Li out here is just so you can see this is a big, tall figure. Very tall figure. Sagat is in scale, and that's pretty cool. That is amazing. So they're gonna get rid of, not get rid of, but we're going to put Chun-Li to the side. And we're just going to admire how Sagat is a really well thought out figure. The thing that really struck me is that I was actually really surprised, because like you can see on Chun-Li there's like a couple of like things that you're like something is off. This is a little bit off. But of course I think that was one of their first ones, so they've obviously learned. But like the scar, that scar is like, you have like scar tissue. Like you can see the scar tissue. You can see like the scratches. You can see like a scratch on the neck. It's crazy. Like it's really crazy like how detailed it is. Let me also get into the accessories. Because there's not many. There's like, it's a deluxe figure, but there's like not many. It's just very interesting. I think Blanca came at the same time, and Blanca has more has more accessories. I'm not a big Blanca fan, so I didn't pick up Blanca just because I'm not really gonna play with him or pose him or really take pictures. So I was like, I'll pass. Maybe somewhere down the line, like if it's on sale or whatever, which I don't know if it'll ever be on sale. But yeah, I'm like, it's not my thing. But going back to Sagat, Sagat comes with martial arts hands, I'm gonna say, because they're not quite gripping hands, right? Because they're not like fully like, they're like kind of like this kind of thing, like a claw type of thing. You get two of those. You get a left and a right. Woo! You get the alternate head, which this is the one that you get default, and the one that he has on right now is the one that that is the additional one. You also get a stand, which is not for him, but you can use it in certain aspects, like if you want him to have one foot lifted for his like tiger pose. Okay, hold on. Like you can technically use this stand in a way. Oh no, you can't. How did I do it? Oh, I used a different stand. Never mind. You can't use the stand for anything but for the fireball. But you can get him into like the stance, by the way. If you have a separate stand, you can get him in the stance. Like that's really the cool part about the articulation. But this is the tiger upper, tiger fireball. That he does in the game, which is called Tiger, I think. I thought it was called Tiger Upper, but I think that Tiger Upper. No, I think it is Tiger. No, sorry. Tiger Upper is just a Tiger Uppercut, and then he can do Tiger Fireballs. There's a peg right here. There's a hole right here that the peg goes into, and it just kind of you have to use a little force, of course. But then it just kind of goes in, and then you can have him doing like. It's not tall enough for him to actually do the upper one by itself, I don't think. Okay, no, like it's a little off. Like you have to have him like really lean into it for it to make sense, because it's just a little bit off. Or you can play with the angles to make it work. but you kind of have to crunch him in to make it work on the upper one. And the lower one, obviously, it's really easy because you just have him bend down and then you lower it down. But that's all his accessories. I mean, I don't know what other accessories he would actually come with anyway. So I don't know. I don't know what I would expect anyway, but it doesn't have a lot of accessories. But the articulation is good. It's really, really nice. Like I said, you can get him into his own fighting stance. I think, yeah, the neck has articulation, and then the head separately has the neck has articulation, and then the head itself has separate articulation. Like it's a double ball joint, I think. Yeah, I think it's a double ball joint. And then he's got butterflies, which is really cool. I really like how these also match the body. So the joint is, like, you can see it obviously if you're really looking at it, but like it gets hidden. And like the arms can go back pretty far with the joint. These are on a ball. No, these are on a hinge. What am I talking about? These are on a hinge, but that's okay because it can go pretty far up. You just, if you situate it right, you can get it to go up this way. So, really, really cool. There is a swivel here for the bicep. There is double jointed knees, elbows. That's what's in your arm, not knees. And by the way, the Sagat figure, the joints have actually been really like smooth. Like they weren't like broken, or not broken. They're a good thing they weren't broken, but they're not been stiff or hard. So I think that's also really cool. I don't know if that's unnecessarily the figure thing. I think it's just my figure. Like certain figures just are loose, have a little bit looser joints, which I like. I like not being super rigid, but at the same time, like you can feel it. And then what's very interesting is that he has an ab crunch here, and then he also has a little bit of a crunch down that way, but he's got this nasty little hump in the back. Like you're not going to take a picture of him from that angle anyway, if he's hunched over ish. But you have to really play with the camera because there is, like I said, it's like a bump. And it's kind of weird. I'm not sure why it's sculpted that way. The legs obviously go up that far. They go back this far. There's a double joint. There's a thigh swivel by the shorts. There is double jointed knees, which are really nice for tiger knee. When he needs to do a tiger knee, for those that play Street Fighter and know the move I'm talking about. He can do a tiger knee. The foot has a nice pivot joint on there. The ankle also again has a swivel. There is toe articulation. This is a deluxe figure. Like I said, the only thing that's weird to me is that they're like I really don't know what other accessories they could have added in. Is that he doesn't have a lot of accessories. But I think I'd have to have the Blanca one in hand. But I think he's taller than Blanca. So I guess like he'd be like, if we're comparing it to like Marvel Legends, like I guess he would be technically a Hulk size figure, and Hulk figures don't normally come with a lot of accessories either. So, and because of the size. So I think maybe because of the size, he doesn't have a lot of accessories. I'm not Jada Toys. If you have that question, ask Jada Toys on I think Jada Toys. I don't remember what the Twitter is, but you can find Jada Toys on Twitter. You can ask them why Sagat doesn't have a lot of accessories. I think Sagat's cool. I don't know. I would definitely not put him on the top 10 of the best figures of 2025. Just because there's a couple of personal things that I'm like, I wish it was better, but it's still a really great figure. I think I've seen it at Target like one time in the last couple days. Before that though, nothing. But I bought mine in Entertainment Earth, so they definitely still have it there. And then, like I said, your Targets you might find it, but Really good figure. And really great for the Street Fighter lineup. Really great, especially because of the new Marvel Legends figures that will be coming out. Even though he's not actually in Marvel vs. Capcom, by the way. For those that are like, hey, wait a minute, he's not in the game. Yes, he's not in the game. But that's the great thing about action figures. You can kind of make up your own stuff. And I would really like to see him stack up against like Juggernaut or something, because Juggernaut's obviously like much larger, and then there's a couple of other characters I think would really cool to look at for that. Like, you know, like we can throw Ramen. Like Ramen's definitely not in any of those fighting games, but who cares? I've got the action figure. Actually, I do have the action figure right next to me, underneath the platform. Look at that, they're like the same size. That would be a really cool looking fight. They're the same height. Actually, I think... Oh, Sagat's actually taller. Anyway, it'd be super fun. But yeah, like I said, obviously reason why Rom didn't make it is Rom has a weird history with licensing. Sagat, I just don't know. I don't remember what it was that they didn't include him in the game. But he's a great character. The figure looks great. Yeah. Anyway, as always, you are worthy. You are loved. You belong. And you can do wonderful things. Keep your star shining, and we'll always be looking for you in the night sky. Going off air.